As we arrived at the ultra-hip Coolidge Corner Theater for the premiere of The Company Men, who features A-list actors like Tommy Lee Jones, Ben Affleck, and Chris Cooper, the snow was coming down, but that certainly didn't stop any moviegoers from purchasing tickets and standing in line an hour before the premiere. The Company Men was chosen to be one of 8 movies officially premiering around the country as part of the Sundance Film Festival USA. Hollywood East Connection not only got to screen the film with the packed house, we got an exclusive interview with the director-writer, John Wells, who we caught right when he walked in the door.
We're really excited to be hearing about the filming earlier in the summer, and now we're really excited to see the film tonight.
Yes, thank you.
I hope you feel that way afterwards.
Yeah, great reviews at Sundance, and everybody's so excited and talking about it, and everyone in Boston loves seeing our town on film. Yeah, so that's really cool. How do you think audiences will relate in terms of the two different points of view that your characters have? There's the point where they're the polished businessmen, working professionals, and then they go through this crisis and they have to kind of, you know, take back their egos or check them at the door completely and, you know, go back to, you know, working like everyday Joe Schmo. How do you think audiences do you think they might relate better to one point of view or the other, or do you think the characters themselves remain relatable throughout the entire film no matter what's going on?
Well, the film is structured in such ways that you're really not supposed to feel very sympathetic towards the characters at the beginning. They are people who have had a lot of opportunities and are living at the ends of their means, although they're not quite aware that they're living at the end of their means. So I think their situation is very relatable to many people. There's a lot of economic uncertainty. I think all of us, no matter whether you're feeling very confident in your job or not, I think people are feeling very insecure in the economy, in the new economy that's evolving. So I think there's a complicated dynamic that happens for the audience, or I hope there is, which is that you don't feel particular sympathy for them, and yet you have empathy for the situation. And then the attempt in the film is to bring you to the point of feeling sympathy for them, and in fact ending up rooting for them by the end of the picture, even though at the beginning you're sort of thinking that they're people that don't really deserve any of your sympathy.
You know, people talk about movies, they're an escapist medium. People go to the movies to forget about their problems.
Do they?
Well, you know, sometimes, and other times it's a social commentary. Do you think that, or do you feel that being that this movie aligns so closely with what's going on right now, that are you meaning it to be somewhat of a social commentary in the end, or will it provide some escape in some sense as well?
Well, you know, I think that the entertainment can provide a whole bunch of different things, and there are certain things that are pure escapist entertainments, and we all like them, and we go and we buy some popcorn and have a good time and want to get away from our lives. But I think there's also a whole other part of what I don't want to sound too pretentious, but what art does, whether it be cinema or whether it be music or painting or fiction, in which we try and engage the audience in a conversation. Now, that conversation can be an emotional conversation. My hope for the film is that when you leave it, you don't feel as if you got dragged behind a truck, but rather that you want to go out and have a cup of coffee and have a conversation, maybe argue a little bit about it, or be moved by it.
What was it like to work with such an A-list crew and with the big stars? I mean, that's Tommy Lee Jones and Ben Affleck and Kevin Costner. Was there did they ever bump heads? Like, was it a smooth ride? Like, how does 3 big actors like that work together in a room?
Yeah, I was very lucky. You know, I got Ben committed to do the movie first, and then Tommy, and then Kevin Costner, and then I got Chris Cooper sort of at the end. So, you know, I was able to get this sort of extraordinary cast together. Felt very fortunate that I could. But, you know, when people come in to do this sort of a film, you know, where they know it's going to be a quick schedule, we did it in 40 days, and they kind of know that it's not bare bones exactly, but that it's not going to be as if you were doing, like for Tommy Lee, it's not the same as when they did Men in Black 2, as far as the day-to-day experience of it. It's going to be,
aliens.
People come in because they want to have the experience of working on this kind of material and working with other great actors. So they tend to come, and certainly all of this cast did, kind of ready to work and interested in the material, and they're here for a reason. and you know, they're being paid, but the reason isn't the paycheck. They're here for kind of the aesthetic experience, the experience of working together with other actors on this kind of material. And so it's a pleasure. We just sort of had this great cast and a bunch of wonderful Boston area, New England actors, you know, out from all different kinds of rep companies around here, and then people came up from New York. So it was really, we just had a lot of fun.